What's going on, traders? How we doing out there? And yes, I know I'm probably a little bit too dressed, but you know how it is, man. Just stayed looking good, ready to get after it. It starts swing trade. Oh, me, I'm ready to take some swings in this market. And of course, let's take a look into the market. It seems like it's been a tough one. All I got to do is just look at my sectors, right? You guys know how I'm all about sector rotation, and it don't look good underneath the hood today. Let's take a look here. You guys can see nothing but red here. That's not what we want to see, of course. We were interviewing DraftKings a little earlier, so a little tease there. If you didn't check out the Sports Betting Summit, definitely check it out. DraftKings, FanDuel, LS Game Technologies had a great interview on there, so I really recommend after today's show. Of course, 4 p.m., we don't have too much on. We do got Cannabis Insider on certain days, but today we don't have anything after 4 p.m. So I want you guys to go and check out the Sports Betting Summit if you haven't already done so. Of course, I'll throw up a link for that. Let's get to the action. The court date? No, don't worry, man. For court, you already know this gets even better. It's Money Mitch we're talking here. All right, let's get to the action. Let's take a look at the SPYs. We're dropping off here. And one thing that I could clearly see right off the back was the Qs were actually going up right out the gates while the SPY was actually coming down. This is very important to note. We want to catch this as traders, right? And instantly I could see what? SPY coming down, Qs going up. That's when I was like, okay, so is this a fake out to the technology move? And we're going to start to see kind of the Qs start breaking down and start seeing tech break down, right? Of course, you guys know I've been taking shots in one stock that I don't think many were, which was Lamb Research to the downside. And yes, I took some profit today because you know how I am. A man has to pay himself on these swing trades. But look how this is starting to break. And we just started looking at this. And what did I do? I just used the trend line and said, above 590s, I'm going to get out. But right now, 586 from 586.58 down to here, we're up about 4.53% on this position. And I did close some of my airlines today, some of my cruise lines. I only have NCLH left, so I was able to close UAL, DAL for some gain and hanging on by a thread to NCLH. We'll see what happens to that one. But Lamb Research coming down today through the 9 EMA. That's really was my target. And we're continuing to come down. As long as we can continue to break down, especially like in the Qs and keep coming lower, I'm going to be looking to see if I can get a little bit more peace on this Lamb Research. Of course, I only have a third left of the position, but I'm going to ride it as far as I can. Hasn't been a bad one. Already paid myself today, and we'll see what happens if we see more breakdown. One of the biggest stocks that I wanted to kind of watch today was going to be Micron. You can see how it's been kind of working its way back. Big thing I'm looking for is, are we going to see continued downside in the semiconductor space? So if you can see here, overall, semiconductors, we definitely came down from kind of that high that we were riding. Let's just be honest. And the recent days, we're really starting to break down on this. So we need to keep an eye out here to see if we see more profit taking. That was my concern too. Where we're going to see some more profit taking in the market, right? Of course, we got the Fed meeting, the minutes that came out, right? That probably affected the market. It didn't help the market, that's for sure, as we've been hanging on here. Now, one thing I can clearly see, we do got a little bit of support down here on the SPY around the 410s. It seems like that's where it doesn't want to go through right now. Let's see what we get in this last hour of the market. Will we get a little bit of a power hour rally, or will we continue to leak down? That's one thing that I'll definitely be watching. Of course, I'll keep an eye on it for my Lamb Research trades, but we can take a look underneath the hood to see what's doing well today and what isn't. Of course, the worst sectors today, real estate, basic materials, industrials, not looking good there. And even industrials, like I've been waiting for this move for a long time, and it looks like it might have just gotten started. I still am not jumping to the gun. I've talked about this GE and the massive rise that this had since January. Of course, on the peak, it's up about 61%, now down about 53. Are we going to start breaking this trend line and going back through the 100 price point? I think it's very important to keep an eye out on names like this. I'm looking at Caterpillar in the space to see if it was going to hold the support. And you see it start letting go today. Deere start coming down lower. Of course, these are getting turned around. And you're seeing what? Also seeing what? That defensive area is not doing well either. We're seeing value names kind of turn around, right? PG turn around, right? Clorox, right? You guys can take a look there. Look how this was just making a nice little peak, now starting to break. Value versus growth, where is that relationship going? We're clearly seeing the rotation away from value 2 days ago when we started seeing growth take off. But now running into another wall as we take a look here at like an ARKK, right? On Monday, I was feeling a lot more confident as we were approaching that 40 line, looking for the break above towards 41. Now the growth names kind of taking a little bit of a pullback on this day. And of course, in ARK, you're always going to take a look at Tesla, and you can see same thing, kind of pullback action, pulling back to the 9 EMA. Will it reload and start making an up move? Something that we all need to keep in mind. And one great question I think everybody's talking about, and I can't blame you for talking about it. I was talking about it on pre-market prep. Will the outlook get worse before the debt ceiling is solved? I think this is a very important subject to focus on, because the truth is, I think a lot of times things get worse before they get better, right? And I think that that's what we're running into, a little bit of some headwinds, a little bit of some profit taking. Does this mean the technology is going to get wrecked? No, I don't think that by any means. If not, I'd probably be shorting names like NVIDIA, Microsoft. But the truth is, those have AI plays. So NVIDIA is pulling back today, and it does have earnings after the bell. So that will be definitely a stock to watch. But I think this is more profit-taking opportunities, right? And, of course, NVIDIA's estimated move is about kind of 12 points. So we'll see what happens if this starts making its way back towards 310 with the earnings report. Of course, coming down a little bit could lower the bar a little bit, but I mean, this stock has made a massive move in the recent weeks, right? So what I would be doing is actually taking these numbers off. If I wanted to, I could just do what? Just look for kind of like a fib retracement, right? So a simple retracement level from the recent highs would be coming back down into the 275, 280 range. So I'd be looking at least on that for pullbacks if I'm looking for NVIDIA to the upside. Of course, I do like the semiconductor names overall on pullbacks, but as we've seen, like even AMD, it really started getting going. This one I don't see turning around anytime soon unless we really get some more destruction. But NVIDIA led the party. Now AMD seems to be like playing catch up, right? So we got to keep an eye out on that to see how the NVIDIA story changes and will it affect AMD. All right, let's get out of this talk. We can keep talking about what was hot and what was not today at 3:30. I'm excited to get into it. Of course, we'll get back after it. Michael from Trade the Pool will be joining us. I'm super excited because I got to let you guys know. I mean, I'm taking another shot with an account and trying the evaluation phase of Trade the Pool. So if you guys want to find out more about that, stick around for the show. All right, let's get into the action. Let's go looking around to see how some of these stocks performed on the day. Palo Alto did have earnings today, so I think that was an important one to kind of start off as a good stock in the S&P 500 today. There's not many, but we won't go there. All right, Pan W, you guys can see how this is kind of holding in right now. It did have earnings, and it didn't even come back here towards kind of resistance on the intraday. And so now that you're starting to pull back, I'm wondering if we're going to crack down to 200. But this has been a really nice move back up towards the highs. So I would be actually looking for some reloading to happen there in the 200s. So in the next couple of days, we'll see if Palo Alto can take that next step up. One thing that could definitely help it tonight is the earnings report from Snow. I've been looking at this one for about a week or two when I started really looking at the growth names to see if this was getting moving. You guys can see it here. I created this line on May 16th, was watching for the move on Snow. You guys can see it's definitely starting to push. And that was about, 6 days ago. Now we're really starting to make a move here and now starting to just kind of push up, pull back to the 9 EMA. Let's see if it gets a nice move with their earnings report tonight. Makes its way to 185. I'd definitely be looking for maybe continuation and Pan W. And you can look at some other cybersecurity stocks to see if they want to really get going here. CrowdStrike, nice level right above it now towards 148.76. Let's see if it can get to the 150 and really start to push. CrowdStrike looks a little sleepy here. Not a bad looking weekly chart. Can this get moving? One thing that I'd keep in mind. All right, we'll see how that one works. Always, I look for a relationship. There's many other names you can look at. Sentinel One, will this one get moving? Zscaler, can that get pushed there up by Snow's report today? You can see it's already had a nice little 3-day and did a little bit of a gap up, turning around this kind of 130 area. But we'll keep an eye out on cybersecurity. Now catching up with the chat. What's going on out there, team? It's good to see you guys. Dano, you really enjoy learning from us? That's what it's all about, Dan. And really, if there's anything that I can help you or in the chat, they all help each other. That's what we're really here. It's a community. It's not just me. It's not just Benzinga. It's also you guys out there. Help each other continue to build forward. All right, let's keep going. Hey, Ty, you look great, homie. Hey, appreciate it, Ben Berger. I mean, at the end of the day, trust me, I like to clean up. But like always, on Benzinga, we take kind of a little bit more of a laid back approach. But can I clean up, man? Yeah, I'm all about it, right? All right, let's keep going. We'll see what else is going on in the markets. If you guys got a big trade that you guys got today, don't forget, mention it in the chat. We can definitely go over it. All right, let's keep going in the industries, seeing what we're seeing. Technology also coming down today. I've talked about this. Would we find a little bit of resistance there? And this is my equally weighted index, right? We could also take a look at maybe like XLK if you wanted to take a look at a different one. But I like this. It's equally weighted, right? You can see how we're pulling back right now, trying to reload. If we break this trend line, that's when I'll really get concerned that some of these tech names could really get smashed. Until that moment, I'm just going to be thinking that we could get a little bit of a pullback, find some buy the dippers, and take that next step forward. What's that next step forward going to come with? Of course, we got GDP coming tomorrow on Thursday, so you don't want to miss that. Economic news, 8:30. Don't miss pre-market prep as we go over it live on that show, of course. We'll have Dennis Dick, Joel Elconin take a look into the action and see how we react to GDP. But another thing that I'll be looking for, of course, is NVIDIA's report, right? NVIDIA's report tonight is going to change it all. And so if NVIDIA takes a big whack, well, I could see the Qs probably taking a big whack also. So you got to look out today. And this is going to be one of those days where you might want to read an NVIDIA's report and then catch their earnings call because you know they're going to mention AI. The only question is, how much will NVIDIA pull back? That's one thing that I'll be looking at. And will the AI comments just change everything around? It could get hit off the earnings and then some AI comments made in the earnings call and all of a sudden catch the lift. This is why you got to be careful trading earnings. This is why I personally stay away from earnings. But like always, you guys choose your own investment advice. All right, let's keep going. Will NVIDIA affect TSM? Yes, it will affect TSM. Especially if they start talking more about industry demand. But of course, when we're talking more NVIDIA, we're talking more graphic chips. So TSM might not be a 100% correlated with it, but could it affect it? Yes, it's going to affect the overall industry of semiconductors. And we got to keep an eye out, of course, on AMD. See how that reacts to the news, because I definitely think that, of course, we all were putting NVIDIA with AI. Now we're really putting AMD with AI. Let's see how they get affected tonight after the report. All right, let's keep going. What's going on out there, Crow? How we doing? Hot Dog Jones said that it picked up Disney for the long-term hold. Let's talk a little bit about that. I know we talk a little bit about day trading. We talk a little bit about swing trading, but we could talk a little bit about investments. Why not, right? One stock that was mentioned this morning on pre-market prep, I'll bring up that even I am going to take a look at. And why? Because maybe AI plays. And this was brought by Ivan Feinseth of Tigris Financial. So if you guys don't know who Ivan Feinseth is, definitely check him out. He was on pre-market prep this morning. So let's go to a Hot Dog Jones Disney bet here, and I can't blame you for the outlook. Now, the only thing that I would mention on Disney that I don't like, and I've mentioned this before, this is not to turn around your pick, Hot Dog Jones, just what I think of Disney, right? Personally, I did not like the comments mentioned, of course, by the top that they were going to cut down on spending of content. If we know really how Netflix really made it and how they got to the level of shows that they got to, it was all about what? Practicing, right? Experimenting, finding where the good shows were and what was not wanting to be watched. This is where I think Disney needs to go ahead and try to do what? Continue to have that trial experiment, right? And so right now you can see them, they're raising prices, spending less on content, and expecting to keep the customer. This is not the way it works a lot of the times. If we want to go ahead and gain customers, we need to give them more value so that they see us as the valuable option, right? Well, a lot of people tell me, well, the kids will continue to just be on Disney. Yes, this is true. But you raise the price enough and you continue raising the price, parents will have to determine what's more important. Is it a Disney Plus kind of subscription? Or is it the subscription to Netflix that they watch also? Because the parent right now is probably not watching the Disney Plus content. Now, the parks could help out here, but if we go into a recession, that's my other concern. Of course, the parks have found a way by increasing the price, and we're already seeing in the consumer and the retail world, what are they talking about right now? Well, they're talking about the consumer slowing down and taking away a lot of the expenditures that are not necessities. This is not a necessity. So in my eyes, that's why I would draw red flags here. But if you're drawing a green flag for investment, can't blame you. The key here is going to be how much would you let it come down on you on the investment? And of course, what's your target to the upside? Is that a move back through 200? Well, keep everything in your sights, right, of what your investment is. And also for long-term investments, I always need to know the out also, just in case the stock turns around on me. All right, getting out of Disney talk, we can keep going into some other areas of the market. Let's go to the SPY and just kind of look around. One thing that I also was looking at today was financial services going lower. Look at the KRE and how that reaction happened today is not what I want to see, right? Now, let's see what happens here towards the end. Can we get a little bit of a lift in the regional banks? PACW, you guys can see that starting to lift. Bank of America coming down, but starting to close a little bit better. JPM. If the banks come back, of course, we won't have too much concern about what's going on in the banking situation. It's been put to sleep for a little while. And that's why I was really kind of concerned when I saw KRE coming down earlier today. But it is finding a little bit of the bounce, right? We got to keep an eye out on technology because that's the only sector now starting to leak into the green. And so we are starting to see what? A little bit of a power hour rally. We just talked about this before when we started the show at 3 p.m. Or would we see a little bit of a rally coming back? And a lot of this is what? Let's take a look here. NVIDIA, right? There you see it right quick. What is this? People trying to maybe play a little bit of this dip into the earnings. Is it something that I'm going to be swing trading? No, by no means, but something that I could keep an eye out for. And the tech driving that higher. Well, look how the SPY starting to rotate too, starting to get a move here. And now we're going to start seeing which sectors slowly go into the green. Consumer cyclical, energy, just slightly behind this. I'm going to keep an eye out to see what starts to really push. All right, and definitely going to keep an eye out on those tech names because those could definitely push. Microsoft coming back, Apple coming back, Tesla even starting to come back, right? Shaking off a lot of that red action, now starting to get strong. That's where I got to really think. Do I just take the cash and run here and Lamb research? And to tell you the truth, guys, I said that I was going after the 9 EMA 566.97 level. We're at 565.50. Could I keep going after Lamb research? Yes. But is this a risky trade? Yes, because it's at the top of the range. And I'm just looking for the move back to the 9 EMA. So a lot of times I would be like, you know what? I don't know if I want to really run the profits right now. But the truth is I want to practice more and more just nailing the execution, right? Because that's more important to me sometimes than trying to play the hero and play this down towards like 540s or 530s. So right now, I'm taking my shot off. I'm going to go ahead and try to get out here. I'll let you know if I get filled on the bid side there. I'm putting an order out there around 564.96 right now. Of course, that's on the bid. So I'll see if I can get hit on the bid action and then get out of this trade, take the win and celebrate of what? Execution. And that's what it's all about. All right, let's keep going, team. We'll see what else is going on. NCLH is one that I still have. I would get out on this one at 1361 and boom, baby. Just got that profit there in Lamb research. I'll take it to the bank. You can't be mad about that. You know what we call that here? That's a little bit of some money, baby. Money. on a little bit of some tech trade to the downside. I don't think there was many doing it. I'll take it, baby. Not a bad little trade there. In NCLH, the only swing trade I have on right now, as I got out of some of the airlines, and I'm just hanging on based on the daily. It's holding on to the 9 EMA. Of course, 1361 will get me out. So if it breaks this kind of support here, I'll get out on this one. This is a little bit of a swing trade that I just want to ride higher, especially if I can see like kind of RCL hanging on, right? This one's been really riding up as of late. Let's see if this one can hang on to the 9 EMA, make its way back to 80, and then look to see if NCLH can take that next step up. All right, it's about 3:24. We got about 6 minutes left till we get to our interview today. Smash the like if you guys are enjoying it. And of course, if you guys got a stock you guys want to cover, throw it up in the chat. You're still holding Success Ease. Are you still holding Success Easy? I know I had that yesterday. Success was a really nice trade yesterday. Got up there towards 1670s and then overnight really took off there. So a little part of me, probably a little jealous that I didn't swing trade it either. But hey, that's how it goes. Today, it's kind of holding on, now starting to pull back, especially with kind of this power hour rally that we're seeing in some of these tech names. But we'll see what happens to these tech names. Of course, there's a lot of reports after the bell, Snow, NVIDIA. That's going to turn things around, right? Something to definitely keep an eye out for in this space. And Snow, just to mention, is starting to get a little bit of a lift here as we go to that close. I think that's also happening. I mean, look at the push now in NVIDIA. You think somebody was maybe playing? Yeah. And I also like this kind of recovery of VWAP. A lot of times when I get stocks to come back up through VWAP, what do I want to look for? A little pullback to that and a recollection there, especially if I can see volume kind of lined up there around the 350s, 300 as it's coming back. Look for that to kind of get that quick fill and have that kind of reversal action. And this is exactly what I'd be looking for. A little bit of a hammer candy at the bottom, and then a bullish engulfing candle comes right after that. Two pattern here. And this is what we're looking for, a change of trend. You want to see massive kind of change on the candle, reversal signal. And then also what I'd be liking in this is you're seeing what? Decline of volume, decline of volume, decline of volume, decline of volume until the change. And then now you're getting an increase of volume, showing the trend and how buyers are really stepping up here and coming out. Also squeezing the shorts. And so the shorts get squeezed, they start getting out, the buyers step up, and this is what you can have, especially on a stock that on the daily seems to catch the 9 EMA a lot of the times and then come right back up. Look at that. I mean, the 9 hasn't really broke much there. I mean, if you want, you could use maybe like a 10 that would come in a little bit underneath it. But definitely, this is not the stock to short. And my biggest thing is on that end is not necessarily that you can't win on shorting a stock like this, but it's very difficult to kind of stay in the lead, right? I'm sure there was a lot of people thinking when this broke 300 that it wasn't coming back. And now you're seeing it back towards 304 and almost 305. You got 304.96. We're right there, baby. And that's why you got to be careful. The same thing I feel like about Tesla. When I do go shorting it, oh boy, I stay to a limit and I just stick to that limit because I can get run over pretty quickly. All right, that's going to do it for my outlook here. It's about 3:27. We'll get started in our interview in just 1 second. I'm just catching up with the chat. NVIDIA did the perfect 3 white shoulders. Yeah, it started really pushing there. And it's showing you that turn, right? And how you really want to get strong, especially if you start looking at the 1 minute here. Look how this is just really taking off and then holding on the 9 EMA for pullbacks. That's what I look for when I start seeing momentum. If I see a stock get momentum out of nowhere, I'm looking for 9 EMA pullbacks for opportunities. This one pulled back to the 9 EMA right here, 303.72, low 303.77. Now you know kind of the levels. And you got another level right here, 303.69 to kind of go off of that. We'll see if it can continue to climb. All right, smash the like out there, team. We're going to keep it going. I hope that you guys enjoyed the sports betting conference. That was a little bit earlier. We're going to go ahead and get to my interview coming up here. But I want to tell you guys a little bit about Trade the Pool. So before I get Michael on, normally I play this at the end, but I want you guys to have at least a little bit of understanding before we get to our interview. So I'm going to play a little bit of a trailer, and then we'll have Michael on.
Number one rule in day trading stock is don't risk your money. The second rule in day trading stock is have enough capital to trade freely. Introducing Trade the Pool. Trade our funds in your own unique way. Here's how it works. Step number 1, show you can trade and prove your profitability. Step number 2, get funded. Trade the pool and keep up to 80% of the profits. Step number 3, stay consistent and get access to unlimited buying power. It's as simple as that. Sound good? But wait, we got more. When you join Trade the Pool, you get a free user for the best tools in the market. Trade ideas, Trend Spider, Bookmap, Trader Syncs, and more. We have been here for a while now, from 2016, when we built our first brand called The Fivers, a well-known and respected prop firm for indices and FX trading. But enough about us, let's talk about you. Are you ready to be a stock star? Start trading now.
All right, Michael, Trade the Pool. You're back. Welcome, Michael Katz. How we doing?
Hey, how are you doing, buddy? How's it going, Mitch? How are you doing,
Ready
everybody?
to get after it, my friend, of course. And
Let's
you know
go.
how we are, always trading the markets. So I'm super excited to also mention that I will be taking part in the Trade the Pool and
Yes,
working right now
exciting.
on my evaluation. I'm excited because that's what I'm all about, Michael. One of my things is always just so focused on process because really that's what gets you into the green. At least that's what I always think. I don't need to be the best trader. I need to be
Right.
the person that's focused on process and let the process itself take me to that success.
Yeah, 100%. And I mean, with those tools that we provide, in most cases, it's automatically increased the chances for you to succeed. We see it on our funded trader. We have a very nice success rate comparing to just a normal retail trader that trade by himself. I gotta tell you, by the way, you're looking pretty sharp today.
I love it. Love it.
Yeah,
Appreciate the compliment. And yeah, you know me. I try to keep it a lot laid back, but we had a great interview today, a great event. So got to be able to clean up like always. You know, if I was on the New York Stock Exchange every day with you, Michael, oh, we'd be
yeah,
killing it, man. You know
no
it.
doubt, no doubt.
Back in the days, that's how I got started a little bit in trading. Just to kind of mention a little background story. I don't know how you got started in trading. Maybe we can ask you about that, Michael. I
Sure.
got started in trading in like 5th grade. Really, I can say this. I did a little stock
Yeah.
competition. I
No
had
way.
like Exxon Mobil. I had Apple. I had IBM. That one might have not turned out so great, but at least
Yeah,
I saw Apple really early on. And that was why, because I was looking in the libraries and I saw those like big old apples, the colored ones
yeah,
back in the day. Well, I
yeah, yeah.
saw that and I was like, man, if all the school has them and they're getting rid of the Microsoft ones, maybe I want to invest in Apple. Thought about that in 5th grade. How did you get started
I
in
mean,
trading, Michael?
first of all, 5th grade, that's incredible, man. Good job. Um, I started to trade probably 15, 16 years ago. I finished my military service, and my ex-girlfriend bought me this Poor Dad Rich Dad book, Robert Kiyosaki. And
hmm
then I said to myself, either go to real estate or go to the market. Started to learn about the market. From there, it was pretty much 2 years of a lot of experience in different type of risk management, different type of strategies, stuff like that. um, I got myself to a point that I understood what I need to do, got some money from my parents, and from there I guess it's a history. Been head of the traders in a prop firm in Tel Aviv, and now as the CEO of Trader Pool. So we're doing good.
Yeah, that's what it's about, man. Always taking it to the next level. And one of the things that when I first started trading, of course, like you look around, right? And the first question is, how can I get the liquidity that I need, right? Because that's
Hmm.
what a lot of traders at first, that's what their search is. Let's just be honest. A lot of us traders that come in, we don't have an account that can get over that PDT rule. And so
Yeah.
that's a lot of times when prop firms can come in to help us. I know that Trade the Pool is for that exact reason, especially for traders that need the help to get to the capital that they can. And yeah, you might split a little profit, but what I like to say, I mean, as long as we can make profits, I don't mind splitting it.
Exactly. Yeah, definitely. Because I started with $10,000, and only through my parents I got to 60. But basically, if you want to start day trading, even if you're doing swing trading, like $3,000 or $5,000, it's not enough, right? So once we got into that picture, we actually found traders from $20,000 all the way to 260,000, and that's a great chunk to trade on. And besides that, it's not your own capital, right? So you don't risk your own money. You don't feel you don't really care about losing the money in a good sense, right? You're detaching yourself from the aspect of the money, so your decision making it's much become more logic and not something irrational, right?
Excellent. Let's talk a little bit about your trading, Michael. I know that you do trading also, and take a little time from your other duties, I'm sure, as CEO. But hey, I do the same, right? Every day, try to do a little trading and then get back to our responsibilities. I know you did some trading today. If you'd like, you can share your screen with us, or I could also share my screen, and we can take a look at some of your trades that you did. I know I was kind of a little bit of mix. I was able to play a little bit of SQQQ for a little bit of a move to the upside, but didn't get the out that I wanted, at least on the SQQQ. I got close. It went up there towards like right on the little peak there. It like peaked out at 27.17. I wanted 27.20s. And you know how it gets. Sometimes you get greedy and you miss a little bit of a sale. So eventually I sold it at like 27.05. Just said, I'll take what I can get, but definitely missed a little bit there. Let's talk a little bit about your trade, Michael. I know you're sharing your screen here. Let me know if you need any help with that, but we can take a look at your trading action. There it is. I see it. Let's get to the action here.
So let's talk a little bit about trading. So actually, before that, maybe a quick thing. Basically, we're running a contest, a trading contest for the last a week or so with one of our partners. You're probably familiar with them, good guys from Chat with Traders. So so what we're doing is basically running a trading contest. Right now, the registration is closed, but it started on the 15th and will run until the 6th of June, right? So I decided, one of the traders there asked me if I'm joining and I'm going to be in the competition. So I said, yeah, why not? Right. So I'm trading like 30 minutes up to an hour of the opening bell. And just because I don't really have a lot of time, but I'm doing that. So let me first, show off a little bit, because I'm at third place at the moment.
That's what I like to hear.
Just
for the chat, I threw it up there. And Dennis Dick, one of our pre-market prep guys, was on Chat with Traders. So if you guys haven't caught that episode, definitely check it out. And of course, who doesn't love Chat with Traders? I mean, if you haven't seen that before, I mean, you're probably missing out on a really good podcast. But top 3 traders right now, I can see these up here. Tell me about it.
So I made it to the third place. But there are 2 guys just above me. Obviously, I'm not going to take any prizes, but we do have great prizes for this, and we're going to do this trading contest also in the future. The first 10 places going to win an evaluation account, basically, and can trade that evaluation, go through the process, and hopefully get funded. So we have that nice list over here. A lot of Americans coming at the top, so that's cool. We actually had like 5 or 6. Now I see that some of them went down a little bit. You can see the drawdown, the win rate, the best stocks. A lot of them trading penny stocks as well.
All I got to say is I see Michael Kraz with 87.5 win rate. Look at that man, killing it. Now it's at 90.
Oh, yeah, a 90, yeah. A 90.
Oh, just a little 90, just a little 90%, man.
I will probably lose tomorrow. That's
that's how it is, right? When we talk about it real quick, we got to be careful for the next day.
Exactly.
So what's your trade today?
Yeah, so let me share the screen right here. Obviously, since we are a prop, we all start at 0 balance, right? We trade in one big pool, so all the accounts start at 0, and we climb from there, and we can go to a minus if we're going to a drawdown, basically. So what I did today, I traded first KSS. That was a nice trade, but This one, I mean, you will see the other one as well. I just took what I could, and I had an interview with a funded trader that I had to go to. So I closed that trade, but I mean, I could have made a lot more than this. By the way, this is the trading platform that we're using. It's called Trader Evolution, and this is our own platform for Trader Pool. What I did is basically took that short. Let me take only KSS here. Okay, so 4:30 is basically 9:30 Eastern, right? So I just entered right at the opening bell, like 12 seconds after it, and just short it right at the top here, added more here, close some here, and then let it ride. And the idea behind it was that basically when KSS started after earnings, it was already like 16% up today, right? And there were
Definitely.
tons of resistance levels around this area of between like the 2250 to 23. So I said to myself, okay, that's a stock that is 16%. That's a lot for KSS, and basically just added more to my short, and I had to close it as it reached that support level and got out. But basically, you can easily see it went much lower than that. So maybe another day I would have made more and got to that first place and not third. So
Hey, that's
that was
not a
the
bad
first.
trade at all, man. I gotta say, I like these types of trades because a lot of times, traders are looking at that first reaction and they see the first reaction up, and then that can get them real quick. That's why I like to look at those deeper time frames, see if there's a resistance up there, right? If it
Yeah,
goes right to that spot and reverses really hard, really quickly, it's a lot of the times where we get those bull trap looks, right?
exactly. And if we take the what I'm doing basically is doing pre-market. Before the market opens, I just mark my lines, my resistance support levels on the hourly chart. That's what I'm working with. And you can easily see, those lines right here. You have the gray area. That's an amazing area for resistance or support. And also this gap that was still open. So as
Yeah.
soon as it opened with a 16% up, went a little bit more, got to those resistance level. I mean, that's a short. I
Yeah.
covered it around the 2150, but yeah, as you can see, it went down like a buck from there.
Yeah, and I think one of the things to think about also is when I think about these types of trades, that a lot of it also is going to do with the industry outlook right now, right? For a little
Yeah,
while there, we were getting what? We got Walmart, we got Lowe's that was telling us that the demand out there was really dropping. And that kind of lowered the bar a little bit for these retail stocks this
that's true.
morning. They brought the bar right back up with putting their earnings reports. And yeah, you guys saw the pops. They started coming up from this. And then I was wondering, man, KSS, are they going to just knock this right back down? And I think, you could see it, right? In the industry. I mean, if you take a look at Macy's, very
Right.
similar chart today, right? It does a very similar move, a nice little
Yep.
push towards a resistance level, and then
Exactly.
just
Close the
flushes
gap.
right back down.
Just a classic move for retails. Yeah.
Yeah, and I love it, man. What else did you trade? Let's take one look at
Uh,
one more trade.
yeah, yeah. The other one was penny stocks, and I'm not a fan of
Nice.
these stocks. Although we got a lot of traders that do penny stocks that for
Hmm.
some reason really enjoying doing that, and I had
Can't
to
blame
go
them,
in
man.
today because I mean today it was a very special one. The GCT. I have no idea what they're doing besides a tech company, but don't really know what they're doing after earnings, blowing up on the pre-market, right, all the way from 550 to almost 12. That's
Insane moves
like
at pre-market,
100%.
right?
Yeah, and you can easily see that the stock is getting weaker, right? Those two waves were very strong, and then a nice move to the upside, pullback, another nice move to the upside, another pullback, and so on. So you can easily see that it's getting weaker, like a banana shape.
Exactly.
And another thing we can look at is basically the volume, high volume coming in at the top. So basically, you know, in the books they're always telling us that you need high volume when you see an uptrend, right?
Mm-hmm.
But the thing is about volume is usually when you see it after a nice move, like 100% move, it will usually indicate of market makers manipulation, right?
Exactly.
So they will there's a nice resistance like a cup and handle. A lot of people are saying, wow, that's 100% up, it's gotta go probably to 200. Let's buy it at the break, right?
Yeah.
And the moment they buy it, guys with big money can actually sell them their shares. So
100%, and you'll see it. You'll see it just hanging out there. Some big share orders just hanging out on the books, and I think that's
yeah,
one of the ways that you guys can use some of the tools that are in Trade the Pool, right? Like Bookmap. That's one thing that I'm definitely super excited to use more of, Michael. So that's one thing that I think is really awesome. That Trade the Pool gives you access to different tools. You
exactly.
get I mean, really, Bookmap is pretty cool. I'm super excited to dive deeper in that and use the tool,
Amazing.
of course, through you
Yeah,
guys.
it's amazing platform, and this is what, you know, Mitch, this is what we're looking for basically, because I went through the path of being a trader, a losing trader, a break even trader, a profitable, did all of those things, and so I have in my mind the ideal package that a trader should have in order to succeed, right? So
Yeah.
this is why I'm always partnering with other softwares, just to bring them on to the team. And basically any trader, besides getting uh, enough capital, besides trading, not risking your own capital, just getting some good tools that will give you the edge. And of course we have risk management built in through our system, so it's like an automatic daily loss and 30% out of the daily loss, all of those kind of stuff that should protect you from blowing up, you know, from blowing off your account. So
Yeah, we're
it
getting
was
some good comments. Michael, I want to stop for a second because I'm getting some
okay.
really
Yeah,
great
yeah,
comments. Walter also talking about Bookmap, a great way to view the order book. And then also
nice.
we got a question from Smoke Tuna. He's super interested in your trading here. He's watching you nail it. He's like, what about indicators? Do you use indicators, Michael, or are you just more a price action type of guy?
100%. I'm more of a price action type of guy, but I do use two indicators on my chart.
Mm-hmm.
One will be 200 EMA. Okay, even on a 1 minute chart, I'm trading 1 minute chart. So
Mm-hmm.
200 EMA definitely, and the other one will be the MACD, the MACD. That's
Love it.
just an amazing tool. I mean, you can see it work over and over again. When we're
Mm-hmm.
reaching major liquidity level, you will see the negative diversion or a positive diversion, and basically we had it actually here on GCT just before the opening bell. Let me see if I can show it, because that's really super nice to see it, and it's easy actually to just get the
Yeah.
idea of it.
I think it's very important.
Right.
I use it often, and I have it also ready, like always. And I think it's something that a lot of traders don't use. That especially if you're kind of more intraday, I think it's definitely a great tool.
Yeah, I've been using it also for swing trading. You know,
Love it,
it's
love it.
yeah.
And
Look
I
how
like I
pretty it
like the
is.
combination, right? And if you like the MACD, right, look for other things that kind of like give you that confirmation, right? That's one thing that I like to use with the MACD also.
Yeah, so basically, let's say you have the MACD, you have the high volume coming at the end, you have 100% move, so it makes sense it will drop. Obviously, I didn't know that it will drop like crazy to 7 from 11, but yeah, it just makes sense that this stock is going down. So unfortunately, I only took that tiny little trade all the way to the 10-20, and I mean, seriously, I could have made much more than this, but you know, that's life. I'm doing other stuff as well, so I take what I
Exactly.
can.
Exactly. And I think that's also important too, right? Because the truth is we don't have all day to just keep watching this, right, Michael? Same
Yeah.
way you, same way like me. And I'm sure a lot of people out there trade 30 minutes and get out of the market because they got to go do some other work. I used to do a part-time job right after trading and then just go
Yeah.
to that, do trading in the morning, whatever it takes when we first start, right? That's the way
Yeah.
I believe in it. I'm sure you believe in with that too, Michael, that at first when it starts, it's whatever it takes to get me to, like you mentioned, first survival. Then we go into that kind of break even stage, right? And
Yeah.
then we can go to that thriving stage. And a lot of that times it's going to be what? Learning how to play the game, right? At the end of the day, we have to learn how to play the game. We have to use our processes, and we might need access to a little bit of capital if we really are trying to make those big step ups. Because the truth is, I've been doing it. I've been doing a small account challenge. What have I made? Yeah, I've made 10%, but the truth is that's $50.
Yeah.
And
Exactly.
if we're going to really kind of make some money to build an account and take it to that next level, it would take years at that rate, right? Years, multiple years. It could take 5-10 years at that rate, right? So I think a
Yeah.
lot of the ways is trying to find resources. Michael, you're a great resource for retail traders out there. Any last comment you have on Trade the Pool that you'd like to tell our guests or our audience today?
Yeah, I mean, first of all, just test us out. Go to our website, traderpool.com. You have 14 days free trial. You can download actually the platform, play with it, just to get the feel of it. And once you're ready, join in. We have, it's basically just a tiny bit about the process. We have 4 tiers of evaluation accounts. You choose your own. You pay a small fee between $97 all the way to $1,200, and you go through the process of trading. Once you reach that target, you get funded. We split the profit, and everyone is happy.
Love it. And one last thing, you guys know how I am. I'm always about like going to like festivals and conferences. I just came back from VCon. You guys are gonna have a festival yourself, right? I'm super
Yeah,
excited. Honestly, I'm here looking at flights right now, Michael. I'm like, man, can I make it June 17th trading festival in London? Oh
yeah,
man. And we got traffic worldwide. So if you're out there and you guys want to go to this, definitely check it out. Trader Day Live. I mean, you guys are going to have a competition there where you guys can win some things. Check it out.
yeah,
And,
yeah,
and
yeah, yeah.
may I mention free beer?
All through the launch. So yeah, I mean, it's
Love
gonna
it.
be
Love it.
a blast. London in the summer is always fun.
Yeah, you got some speakers, you got an agenda, you got a tournament there. Definitely save your seat, guys. Check it out. Trade the Pool. I'll make sure to include the link down here below so that you guys can check out the competition. And no lie, Michael, I'm checking on some flights right now. We'll see what we can do. All right. It's always good to see you here, Michael
Thanks
Katz,
so
Trade the
much.
Pool CEO. You guys saw the trades that he made. Not bad shorts, may I say. And this is why I always
Thanks.
talk about also having two abilities in trading, not just going long, right? Also having the ability to go short is so important. You saw Michael nail some shorts today. Can't blame you, man.
Thanks. All righty,
Have a good
guys.
one, Michael. We'll have you
Bye
back
for
on.
now.
Take care. All right, getting back to the markets, of course, check out Trade the Pool, guys. I threw up the link multiple times there. You guys can check it out. Let's go back to the market. Let's see what we're seeing. Are we still climbing, of course, here? That's one thing that I'll definitely take a look at. Did we get the true power hour rally here? Let's go to the Qs and see what's going on. You guys can see we did get a nice little push up, but what happens? Oh, MACD crossover? Yes, we just talked about using the MACD crossover. And you guys can see down here, what is that? That's the light blue line, right? When you see the MACD, what is the MACD? You're talking about moving average convergence divergence. What does that mean? A lot of confusion, right? Well, what it means is that you use two moving averages and you compare them to a shorter one that's going to give you a lot of fluctuations. So the light blue line here is the 9 EMA. What the MACD line here, that dark blue line that you see, that's the 12 and the 26. And so that's going to give you that change in between there. And the 9 here as more of that kind of trigger, right? And a lot of the times what I'm looking for on this is when it crosses over, right? When we cross over here, what happened, right? Well, you guys can see it. Nice little crossover. makes an upside move. But when we see that crossover right back, look what happens. Right back to the downside, right here, right near the top. And that's how you can be maybe using this as a way to, especially day trade, to stay with the momentum and maybe get out when the momentum turns around. So I hope you guys enjoy a little bit of added extra indicator talk. I saw you guys mention in the chat what kind of indicators do we use. That's one way to use the MACD, right? I love to talk about indicators. So if you guys want to learn a little bit more about any indicator, always reach out to me, Money Mitch BZ on Twitter. Let me know, hey, we want to learn CCI. We want to learn how to use Bollinger Bands. We want to do fib retracements. Whatever you guys want to learn, whatever indicator you guys want to use, anchored VWAPs. I know that I've been really trying to kind of get Brian Shannon on, and maybe you guys can reach out to Brian Shannon, tell him to come on to Benzinga. I've been reaching out to him. I want to talk some anchored VWAP. Like always, smash the like, team. All right, let's catch up with the chat. Let's take a look at the market, seeing if we're seeing anything else out here right now. SPY overall pulling back here towards the close. And a lot of this, I think we got to just keep our eyes on the banks, right? Look how KRE came right back down. I think that's one thing that I'll keep on watch. NVIDIA is trying to play the leader here and catch a little bounce. Of course, their earnings reports will be coming out after the bell. Catch that, of course, and see if it comes back through this kind of flagging action. It's holding the 9, so a good report could put it right back up there. And this is why you got to be careful with shorting a monster like NVIDIA right now. All right, I like it better with the bands. You like the bands on there? Okay. I've been using the anchored VWAP. There you go. Easy Mike, what indicators do you use? Let us know. That's what it's all about, man. We all have different ways of using it. Crow, we use the turtle system, tweaking the standard deviations. Love that insight there, Easy. And definitely look into that, right? There's plenty of things that use standard deviations. There's plenty of understandings of indicators that I think are very important. The two that I use often are ATR and RSI. I'll tell you guys to look into those. Those just help me understanding a lot of the times how much I can get in a stock and how much I can expect on the daily move. The Q's coming right back down here. Just be careful out there, team, as we're getting pullbacks. And of course, on the 5-minute, it's not going to kind of turn as much as it does on the Qs. So one thing to look at is, of course, is like MACD, like daily turns. Those look really strong, right? And when those kind of cross over, those can lead for a little bit longer than, let's say, on the 1-minute or the 5 even. All right, let's go back to the action. Love standard deviations. Yes. Keltner channels, Hammersaw, bringing in a different one. There's plenty of indicators out there you can use. And it's just more about finding what you like and what helps you in your style of trading. All right, let's get back to the action, of course. And you guys are seeing technology go right back to the red. So that's where I'd be a little bit careful as we keep seeing technology stocks come down. Now, of course, I could take some shots tonight, right? I could say that NVIDIA is going to have a good report, bad report. I can say that Snow is going to get hit on their report. The truth is, I think Snow might get a little bit of an uplift and NVIDIA take a step down. So what could that happen? We could be kind of in the middle, right? I could try to take a shot on Snow, but it's already made a move on the daily. So I'm kind of catching it already on the move, and that's what I don't like. I would rather just wait for pullbacks and play it on the opportunity for the day. So I'm not going to take a swing on this one. All right, Dano says, my mind feels like spaghetti after this week. And that's okay, Dano. Believe it or not, happens to me all the time. And if your mind feels like spaghetti, what do? Slow things down. You don't need to trade tomorrow. Maybe I just look at the market tomorrow and just try to get back in tune, back into the zone where I feel like a lot of the times, what do we do as traders, right? We want to predict tomorrow. Really great trader of course, on Twitter was talking about this, and I could give his name out if you guys want. Let me know if you guys want a really good trader to follow on Twitter. Let me know. I'll throw it up in the chat, but only if you guys need it or not. Now, one thing that I think is very important that he talked about is that we can't be in the business of predicting tomorrow. That's not what we're in the business of. We're in the business of understanding what's in the market today. And that's a lot of the times how traders need to really be on and stay on top. What does that mean? That's staying in the present mode, staying in the now, not in the future, not in the present. I can't be talking about the trades that I could have made And I can't also be focused on the trades that I'm going to make in the future because this and this is going to happen. The truth is, what I want to be focusing on is where's the rotation going today? Where's the rotation coming out of? And where are the opportunities due to the catalysts that are presenting themselves? And of course, the major question that I ask myself all the time, where's the current environment? What are we doing? Are we going after growth? Are we going after value? Is tech stocks the ones that are leading right now? Are financials turning around? Do we see retail stocks coming up and then dropping right back down? Is recession around the corner? Things that you need to be asking yourself so that you understand the current environment and are able to stay on top. All right, let's keep going. We'll talk about some other action here. Let's take a look at what else is going on. It's 3:58. We only got 2 minutes left. If you guys got a stock you guys want to take a look at, throw it up now. You only get one shot. All right, let's get to the look. Let's take a look at what else is being mentioned out there in the markets. But let's go to a little bit of some SPY action, see what we're seeing. Definitely have taken a turn back from that 420 area. So now I'm starting to look to see if the 410s start playing as support. 410s act as support for a very long time here when we were going sideways and started making this up move. So in the next day or two, I'm going to be looking at if we can start catching the support. One thing that could really kind of start wrecking this is if we start seeing a major profit take in technology. If we don't, and we start seeing buy the dippers, we can be right back up there towards 420. So with that being said, we can look to see if maybe we get a pullback opportunity on NVIDIA and they buy the pullback. We'll wait and find out. Of course, tonight, it's going to be a big event to look at. All right, INTC, I can take a look at that. Intel, this doesn't look good. This looks like it wants lower. And rejection from the top here doesn't look great. It looks like it wants to cut through the 28, come right back towards 26. Nothing that I see good here. Micron, this is one to look at, right? It has been trying to make an up move, and I think this is very important. If Micron could stay strong, I feel like the whole industry will probably stay strong. They got really bad news from China. What's going to happen here? This is that hourly since Thursday. You got Monday's action. You got Wednesday. It's trading within that range. Let's find out. Do we make a move here towards 69 and 70s? Or do we come right back through the 64? This will determine a lot, I feel, on the profit taking in the industry. Of course, as we're talking about semiconductors in technology. All right, that's 4 o'clock. That's going to do it for me today, team. I'm going to keep watching some trades. Of course, I only got NCLH there, still in the green there, about 4.5%. We'll continue to work it. I took the money on Lamb Research, not feeling too confident about the overnight action that could come in NVIDIA. So took that money and ran, and that's all we can do. It just continued to battle, take that money, and head for the hills. And stay tuned, team. I will be keeping up with you guys on, of course, Trade the Pool in that account. That's going to be a day trading account, trying to go ahead and get that to the next level. You guys will see me trade that on live trading a lot of the times because that's when I do a lot of my live trading. But I also will bring it to this stream because that's where we'll be talking a lot and focusing on Trade the Pool. You guys smash the like. Hope you guys enjoyed the action today. Let me know what type of stocks you guys are taking a look at. If you ever got an industry or a sector that you want to talk about, hit me up on Money Mitch BZ on Twitter, and I'll see you next time right here. Hit the like on the way out. And thank you again, Michael Katz, for coming on today. Trade the Pool. I'm throwing up the link one last time here for you guys. And who wants to join me in that evaluation phase? Let's get after it. I'll let you guys know exactly how every day goes. You guys hit me up. Let's keep it going, team. We'll see you next time. Smash the like and see us bright and early on PreMarket Prep, of course. GDP coming out tomorrow? Could shake things up.